Look at these two images. Who would you trust to solve a murder or to figure out a crime? The image on the left is probably obviously Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes, the iconic detective figure who really inspired the genre. The image on the right, however, is the hilariously named Princess Puffer from Dickens' 1868 novel, Mystery of Edwin Drood. These images have something in common that my dissertation explores. I study something called thing theory in Victorian literature, that's British literature from the 19th century. And the reason why I study things is because they have the ability to transport us. So a flickering candle, a steaming cup of coffee, the splintery wood of a ship, even the, well, imagined smoke coming off of Sherlock Holmes's pipe. These things all take us to different places, and they help us imagine different worlds. I noticed, though, when I was studying thing theory in Victorian novels, that a lot of these things are repurposed. And I was wondering why. In The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Princess Puffer repurposes an inkwell into an opium pipe. And she does this in part because she's impoverished and she has an inkwell hanging around, and so she makes an opium pipe. But she also does it in a symbolic sense. An inkwell for Charles Dickens would have been allotted material. It gives her a kind of narrative power. So he's giving her power by having her be in possession of that inkwell. But the fact that she repurposes it into an opium pipe also positions her closer to the novel's presumed killer, also an opium addict named Jasper. So by repurposing this inkwell into the pipe, she gets closer to Jasper and kind of is close to his opium dreams. She learns his secrets. She hears his murderous thoughts. And in that sense, she has a lot of information. She becomes, because she repurposes this object, a detective figure. Even though Princess Puffer was certainly not what the Victorians were anticipating in terms of detective figures, they're really looking for somebody of a different class, not a woman. They're looking for Sherlock Holmes. She's not what they anticipated, but she is rendered that detective figure anyway. And so what repurposed things can do for readers in our world is to allow us to rethink what characters are and rethink surfaces. So just because somebody looks a certain way or is impoverished and doesn't look great, doesn't mean that they don't have a kind of power. And it allows us, by looking at these repurposed things, we can really see the potential and the possibilities for people in our own world now. Thank you.
Julia Clarke.
No rush.
Oh, okay.
No rush. Congratulations.